He should be mentioned. Peter Schmeichel sends Erik Ten Hag replacement message to Man United. Former Man United goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel has praised Thomas Tuchel amid links connecting him with Old Trafford. Former Manchester United goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel believes Thomas Tuchel should be in the conversation to become the club's next manager, should a change be required. The German, who will leave Bayern Munich at the end of this season, is being increasingly linked with the prospect of replacing Erik Ten Hag at Old Trafford. The United boss is under increasing pressure following Saturday's 1-1 draw with Burnley. As a result of the stalemate with the Clarets, United have won just 2 of their last 9 league matches, leaving them 13 points shy of the top 4 with just 12 points left to play for. The best the club can now hope for is Europa League qualification. Whatever happens between now and the end of the season, United have regressed at an alarming rate, with winning the FA Cup their only hope of salvaging what is left of the campaign. Failure to beat Manchester City in next month's final could spell the end for Ten Hag, although the United hierarchy are understood not to have made a firm decision on his future. Tuchel is being heavily linked with the possibility of replacing Ten Hag, and Schmeichel believes he should be under consideration if the role becomes vacant. The Dane told Being Sports, if Manchester United were in the market for a manager, he should be somebody mentioned in that respect. He should be. He has got that kind of pedigree. He has got the authority, he has proven he can win, which I think is really important. He does come with a set system of this is how football is being played. Yes, of course, he is a big club manager. Despite initially being hesitant to speculate on the prospect of United entering the search for a new manager this summer, Schmeichel added on Tuchel, "I like him. I have had the pleasure of interviewing him a couple of times and his football knowledge is fantastic. I think he has been a little bit unlucky being at 2 big football clubs at the wrong time in their history, at times where things were not working on every level. It's not that he didn't do well with Chelsea, for instance. He won the Champions League. I just like him, there is something about him. He projects an authority. You can never compare people, but he has got the same kind of thing as Jurgen Klopp has, you know he is about and you know what he is doing." Erik Ten Hag is losing a crucial battle away from the pitch at Manchester United. Man United drew 1-1 with Burnley in the Premier League on Saturday, despite taking a lead late in the second half. Sir Jim Ratcliffe reiterated the importance of qualifying for the Champions League in February. April is coming to an end and securing Champions League football for next season is now mathematically impossible for Manchester United. The spring flowers are blooming and the nights are lighter, but the football hasn't given fans much reason for optimism. United have regressed to where they were before Erik Ten Hag's appointment, and some fans already accepted that a top 4 finish was a fantasy months ago. At difficult times, the manager of a football club must strike the right notes when addressing supporters, to keep unity and convince them they can see a bright future. When results are poor and the pressure increases, the spotlight burns harshly and every word a manager says can have consequences for their standing and future. That's the case at every professional club, but it's amplified at the biggest side in England, and every word Ten Hag says is being judged by the masses, rightly or wrongly. United fans adored Ten Hag for his honesty last season, and he was critical in victory, often picking out areas to improve after an important win. He won praise for his frankness, but his approach has changed as this campaign has progressed and results have worsened. The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command, is a famous quote from George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984, and, unfortunately, it's come to mind in various interview appearances from Ten Hag this season. It did again after the 1-1 draw against Burnley. "I think we are one of the most dynamic and entertaining teams in the league at this moment," said Ten Hag. "We create loads of chances, play good football. Yeah, we concede also, we have to learn from it because it's unnecessary to lose control. The second half was all us." Ten Hag is in danger of sounding like he's from a different planet with certain comments, and describing United as one of the most dynamic teams in the league was bizarre. United are objectively entertaining. Their games are like basketball contests with plenty of chances at both ends, and they regularly produce dramatic grandstand finishes. There have been 33 goals in the 80th minute onward in United's games in all competitions this season, and the opposition have been responsible for scoring 18 of those. You are guaranteed to be entertained, have your pulse raised and probably lose some of your hair when visiting Old Trafford, but you'll not find one of the most dynamic teams in the league unless Manchester City, Arsenal or Liverpool are playing. United have scored just 52 goals in the league, the same number as Bournemouth, Brighton and Brentford, which shows the standard of company they keep. They have more in common with mid-table fodder than title challenges, and that's why many fans believe Ten Hag should have an amicable departure this summer. Others are still deciding whether sacking another manager is the best option, and fans were overheard debating his future on the train back from Wembley 2 weeks ago. There are pros and cons to consider, but Ten Hag's recent press conferences and interviews haven't helped his cause because he seems to be losing sense of reality. It's understood there is sympathy for Ten Hag among some staff, who believe the Dutchman can't win with comments in post-match interviews and press conferences. They feel there's a choice between criticizing the dressing room and risking demotivating players and sounding more positive, resolute and determined to fix the problems. How Ten Hag sounds might not matter for much longer after the season ends. Why Manchester United may need to make Erik Ten Hag decision soon to avoid nightmare scenario. Manchester United are faced with a dilemma over the future of manager Erik Ten Hag as the campaign drifts towards the FA Cup final against Manchester City in May. It has got to the stage now with Manchester United where it would almost be a shock to see them play well under Erik Ten Hag. It is safe to say that there were no shocks at Old Trafford on Saturday as United stuttered in another unconvincing performance. A 1-1 draw against relegation-struggling Burnley exposed all the problems in Ten Hag's system, with the Clarets having 16 shots at Andre Onana's goal. There are mitigating factors which the Dutchman can rightly point to after a promising debut campaign under him. Injuries and off-field issues have plagued the club and left Ten Hag trying to put out multiple fires from the very beginning of 2023-24. But United's lack of cohesion and playing style under Ten Hag has been a major problem. The former Ajax boss has done little to convince new co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his Ineos group that he is the man to play a key role in their new project. And while there is no chance of a return to the Champions League next season, the European competition they could be in may provide a major roadblock in their bid for a future return to Europe's elite competition. United are currently 6th in the Premier League table, but just a point ahead of 7th placed Newcastle. 6th would guarantee a place in the Europa League, with the winners securing a Champions League spot. However, finishing 7th would ensure a place in the Europa Conference League, with the winners of that competition only guaranteed a Europa League place. A campaign in the Conference League is likely to be a major obstacle, with Thursday nights in Europe a drain on most squads. Aston Villa are one of those teams who have been affected, with performances dipping during the second part of the season as they prepare for a semi-final against Olympiacos. United could still guarantee Europa League football next season even if they finish 7th by winning the FA Cup final against Manchester City. But their chances of victory against Pep Guardiola's side look slim. It is why a change of manager may need to be considered before the campaign ends, just to give United a better chance of finishing in the top 6 and possibly beating City at Wembley on May 12. With so little of the campaign left to play, getting someone in to replace Ten Hag is likely to be difficult. But a strong finish in the league and the potential for FA Cup glory would be enticing for any new manager. Manchester United 3 wins from vital £147 million boost that will offer Sir Jim Ratcliffe lifeline. Man United are set to bank roughly £147 million for this season's Premier League campaign in what could prove to be a very important financial fair play (FFP) boost. Manchester United are set for a healthy cash gain from the Premier League if they can secure European qualification. Erik Ten Hag's side are 6th in the table after Saturday's 1-1 draw with